anybody tell you anything different?
Nonviolent. Nonviolent. Nonviolent.
It's actually got more peaceful, which is what I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying our city to be peaceful.
How many children, how many sons, how many daughters, count everyone more time. How many children, how many sons, how many daughters, count everyone.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Nora Hart.
And I'm Pete Ferryman. We are following breaking news tonight, a peaceful and powerful protest in the streets of Portland. And we want to turn now to a look at the scene from Air 12. We've been following the demonstration, the peaceful demonstration, listening in live for the last 2 hours, essentially uninterrupted. But there are some there's some police activity that we need to address right now.
Yeah, this is near the Justice Center, near 3rd and Main in downtown Portland. You can see a line of police there. We are told that a separate group is sort of gathered there. We do have a crew on the ground, and we'll check in with them shortly. But this is not part of the protest or the demonstration that is happening not too far away at the waterfront. But this is the crowd we're looking at here. They've had a barricade set up there for the last couple of nights around the Justice Center. And
we'll watch that as it unfolds, and hopefully things will resolve themselves peacefully. This is a live look right now. Actually, no, let's take you back. This is a Revolution Hall. This was Southeast Portland earlier this evening. The group gathered at Revolution Hall in Southeast Portland before making their way to the other side of the river, to downtown Portland.
One of the really amazing points of this entire night is someone who we spotted in the crowd. Trailblazers star guard Damian Lillard was at the head of that massive crowd. He was linked arm in arm with protesters as they marched from Revolution Hall all the way toward the waterfront tonight.
And from there, it was really just a dramatic scene that unfolded once again. The demonstrators moved across the Morrison Bridge, and you can see the size of the crowd there, Nora. Thousands of people once again, and led there by Damian Lillard, arm in arm with others, getting their message across as they crossed that bridge.
At one point, the protesters actually took a moment to sit down on the Morrison Bridge before they continued their way across. We saw that moment unfold from Air 12 as well. Just an amazing scene just to see that many people out there again. And this is night number 8 of protests in Portland with no curfew in place this evening.
Yeah, remarkably well organized thus far. From there, the group crossed onto a Nato Parkway and made their way to the waterfront to listen to several speakers. And we've been proud to bring you live coverage, and we've listened in for the last couple of hours as those speakers made a call for change tonight.
That's right.
We have complete team coverage here on Fox 12 from the ground and in the sky.
Our coverage continues tonight with Fox 12's Drew Reeves. Drew, what are you seeing out there tonight?
Well, the group still down here at Waterfront Park is still several hundred people. You can take a look. Still a pretty large group out here. Definitely not as large as that group when we started with them, though. And thousands of people marched from Revolution Hall down here to the waterfront. But we are still hearing from speakers this evening. We've heard from quite a few so far, and we have been hearing the same message, that it is time for justice. In fact, they were talking about this being a peaceful protest, and one of the chants that they say is no justice, no peace. And they said that right now there's still not justice, so they don't have peace. So they changed the name from peaceful protest to nonviolent resistance. They're saying that that fits better because without justice, there is no peace. So there's not peace in the streets. So this is not a peaceful protest. But we're hearing from speakers out here this evening who are saying that, thanking everybody for coming out here and fighting for justice for the lives of Black people here in Portland and across America, saying that this fight is going to continue until there is justice in the justice system. They've talked about a lot about reallocating funds that go towards Portland police and police departments across America and moving them to other departments that suit the community, they say, better, and just a fight more for equality around America is what the overall message out here is. But we did hear several people thanking the crowd for coming out. Several of the speakers who spoke said that they've never felt safer walking the streets than they do with the people out here marching with them. So they were thanking them for that. And it has been a very, very large crowd out here marching. Again, thousands of people as we left from Revolution Hall and crossed the Morrison Bridge down here into the waterfront. Again, an overall message of love and a fight for justice and equality for all out here down in the Portland Waterfront Park.
Drew Reeves live there at Waterfront Park. Thank you very much. And meanwhile, Portland police sending out a message saying that the peaceful rally at the waterfront has concluded and the crowd is beginning to disperse. So it's kind of turned into an open mic situation right there. You heard Drew say that the crowd is now in the hundreds, and now those people, as they disperse, many of them are gathering just like they did last night along that fence line at the Justice Center. You can see on one side there are demonstrators, on the other side police, and up until this point we really haven't seen too much in the way of police. But down there on the ground we have Fox 12's Brenna Kelly. And Brenna, I understand that it's a slightly different tone where you are compared to what we saw at the waterfront. Is that right?
That's right. Just about 30 minutes ago, Portland police tweeted there was criminal activity happening here at Southwest Main and 3rd. We are just outside of the Justice Center that is still fenced off. And what you're hearing on the loudspeaker is police saying, we aren't wanting to engage with the crowd. Don't tamper with the fence. Please continue to remain peaceful. It's unclear what the criminal activity that Portland police said was occurring was. However, I am seeing the crowd getting more and more intense, more emotional, and a different mood than the one on the waterfront. They're shouting derogatory chants towards the police. It's just clear that that group chanting has a different mission than the one on the waterfront. And that's exactly what we've heard organizers of the peaceful protests asking people not to do, not to confront police. So there's a group in the square and on the waterfront. Really what I've seen up until this point is the peaceful protesters wanting to turn their energy into political, tangible action. We heard from the faith community earlier this evening. They came together tonight with a number of pastors saying tonight's really different for them, not only because it's George Floyd's memorial, but also because the other 3 now ex-Minneapolis police officers involved in George Floyd's killing are now facing charges. We heard from one pastor saying tonight there is hope. They can confront the evil that is racism. They're asking their white allies to stand up, who they felt during this movement have gone from sympathy to empathy to now strategy. They're not just feeling for the black community's pain, but they're putting their feet to action. Tonight, they said they see a new generation entering the fight. One speaker said they do not like the destruction that has happened nearly every night since the protests began, but they do like the noise. They believe after these protests, we will be able to bring change. Now it's 10 o'clock. There is no curfew tonight. It's really another test of faith from police with protesters that it will be peaceful. Right now, we are beginning to see a shift, that change that we see every night after it becomes dark here. Have not seen any more of that criminal activity Portland police is referencing, but we'll keep you posted. For now, live from Southwest 3rd and Main in downtown Portland, Brenna Kelly, Fox 12 Oregon.
Brenna, thank you. And as we go back live now to Air 12, we can point to one thing that Portland police tweeted out a while back, a few minutes ago. They said that a Molotov cocktail was found stashed in the area, and they're asking the community to help with awareness of dangerous items. Meanwhile, they have a message about this fence once again.
That's right. They are asking the group there at 3rd and Main near the Justice Center to stop tampering with that fence. They say, please do not climb on the fence, stay peaceful. You can see protesters up there right against the fence, officers on the other side, but a little bit of ways back.
Yeah, this is a tense moment because this last night as this unfolded, this was the line that police drew. They have to draw a line somewhere. I mean, they don't want the jail to be overrun. Okay, in the interest of public safety, this is what they've said. They say they support the demonstrators, but this fencing right here is that line. And they, have announced, last night they announced that they will take measures to push the people away from the fence if they get too close to it, if they, start to climb it or push it down. And I'm looking right there in the middle of the screen. I can't tell if people are applying some pressure to it, but I just hope, and I know you do too, Nora, that it will end up like it did last night with people just honoring that boundary.
Right, because if they don't and people start throwing things or we start to see fireworks tossed at officers, that's when the chaos tends to break out. We hope we don't see any of that. And you know what? Tonight has been very peaceful, so we don't have anything like that to report tonight. Again, that's not the story. The story tonight is the massive gathering of people in Portland once again with a unified message, and they were able to do that peacefully and powerfully. We saw some incredible images. So again, nothing here has really broken out. This hasn't turned into a riot situation. It's nothing like that right now. We just want to keep you posted that at 3rd and Main, this is where the group has gathered. That fence is the line they said do not cross, and you can see officers on the left side right now appearing to walk up and maybe have some interaction with some protesters. Yeah,
last night we heard some of the conversations. It appears the gentleman there in the white shirt is the liaison officer who, is in dialogue with some of the leaders of the demonstration. We heard some conversations last night in our coverage, just pleading for cooperation. And so far, so good. We haven't seen police having to use any crowd control tactics at this point. But to your point, Nora, the overwhelming message tonight was what we saw at Waterfront Park and during that march across the bridge. Some really powerful messages from some of the speakers.
That's right. We heard from many speakers tonight at the waterfront, including Aaron Campbell's mother.
Campbell was shot and killed during a standoff with Portland police in January of 2010. He was unarmed.
We were able to see George lose his life for nothing. I just want us to change the laws. There should be consequences for the things they do. There shouldn't be a way out.
As the speakers talked to the crowd tonight, many people put up their cell phones. Just some images here that would just give you goosebumps. Really raw emotional moments as all of those people called for an end to racism and an end to injustice.
Portland just glowing tonight, quite literally. We saw many signs in the crowd as well. We saw this massive peace sign that definitely got our attention out there among the crowds.
And we've been hearing from the individual protesters as well.
Fox 12's John Hendricks spoke with one of the protesters near the waterfront.
It's very crazy. I'm actually very excited and very glad that our community has got together. It's sad that we can only get our community together when, there's injustice and when, someone has to die for us to do this. But it's good to see all of our communities and all of our outreach out here just supporting the same movement for the whole entire week so far.
Yeah, have you been out here every night? Or?
I have, and things have got crazy, and it's actually got more peaceful, which is what I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying our city to be peaceful and full of joy, but all fighting for the same civil right.
Kind of helps spread your message.
I think the most important thing for people to do right now is to support, not to talk, not to try to go out there and spread their own peace, but to listen to the voices and the cries of people who have been hurt constantly by this, and our communities of color and indigenous people who are coming out here for the single message that, we shouldn't have to die, we shouldn't have to be scared of the police for us to get together and have these big gatherings.